Once upon a time in 2015, 2016 or so, I was threatened by a leader of the EFF, somebody that was serving in the high ranks of the party, who said to me, because you do not support EFF, you are the first person when the revolution starts, I'm going to come for. And I was like, okay, do you, boo? That's what I said to her. So, with everything that is going on in South Africa right now, and we are having pseudo quasi intellectuals just so detached and so out of touch with what is going on, particularly with the poor of this country. I thought about it. I thought about that very threat by this EFF leader. I'm like, wait a minute. Like in hindsight, I'm like, this sounds so much like Madame Defarge of A Tale of Two Cities. I don't know if you've read that literature. I did it in metric, if I'm not mistaken, in high school. And my favorite character in the book was Madame Defarge. And the reason why she was my favorite, now, this book or this literature revolves around the French Revolution before the French Revolution started. So, things bubble under first, like what's going on with March and March and all these other I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I still have flu, by the way. So, with all the March and March and everything else that is happening in the country, in France, prior to the French Revolution, similar things were happening. And there were those that were against the revolution. There were those also that were referred to as aristocrat spies and the royalist spies, and those that did what these so called quasi intellectuals are doing. And then Madame Defarge, my favorite character again, this is what she used to do because she was annoyed by the intellectuals as well during this time. Let me put myself here. The best part about Madame Defarge in A Tale of Two Cities is her chilling, symbolic knitting. Instead of ordinary yarn, and yarn is kotin, about kotin before uzowakijes, it's called a yarn. She secretly records the names of future victims of the guillotine. If you don't know what a guillotine is, it is where they put your head in bars or some sort, and yeah, into her patterns, making her an eerily, like scary, composed mastermind of the revolution. Her character is highly praised for several core reasons. I'm one of those people that actually praises her character because without Madame Defarge, the French Revolution in A Tale of Two Cities would not have achieved what it was for. So, the point that I'm trying to make, people in the ivory tower, when the South African Revolution, if it ever happens, your name is known. I'm just letting you know, symbolically, your name is known. So, what I'm trying to say is, and don't look at this as a threat, it's not a threat. This is things that happen in history, even here in South Africa during the apartheid. I mean, if you watch Sarafina, there was a character of Guitar. Remember what Guitar did? Yeah. And apartheid as well. We had black people who did not support anti-apartheid movements. They would say things, they would intellectualize things, they would speak against black people that take to the streets. I don't have to tell you what happened to them, right? So these things tend to happen all the time. And you would think that people that are smart would know this, would say, yay, let me mind my own business in the ivory tower. What's going on down there? Hey, hey. Or you just join, join in, use your intellectual capacity to come up with solutions and say, hey, I'm also affected one way or the other because if a revolution had to start in South Africa, it's not going to spare anybody. poor, rich, whatever the case might be. Those that have dual citizenship, they will hop on a plane and go to their second home country. Where now? Who still have to apply for a visa, and those countries are aware what's going on in South Africa. They deny you the visa. Do you see what's stupidity comes in different forms when you think you are being smart? All I'm saying is, do not put out the fire by throwing petrol into it. Mind your own business. I think this is the point where poor people have come. They say, please mind your own business if you are not going to be with us. Because if ish hits the fan, do you think you're going to be spared by the revolution? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, literature teaches us to also see insight in things that are happening in our society. Have some sort of insight, and that insight must lead you to what you do next. You got two choices. If I involve myself, I am with the people because I see my black tax at the end of the month when it has to go to distant cousins that are unemployed because they'll pretend you don't have black tax. You pretend that with the black tax on top of the tax that you have been charged by the government, you are just okay up there in the ivory tower, unless you are heartless human beings who don't care about your relatives. Oh, by the way, you guys, some of you are very cold. So, for me, in conclusion, I think the pseudo quasi intellectualism is as a result of the current education system. The current education system did not produce critical thinkers. And those that actually believe that they are critical thinkers, they are actually mind suppressors. They are suppressing other people by using their mind by coming with intellectual point of views. That's not critical thinking. That's not even open mindedness. That is pure mind suppression. You're suppressing other people so that your point is raised, so that you live comfortably in the ivory tower. I also understand that some of you guys, you speak because most of your friends are foreign nationals. So you don't want to lose them. I don't know, maybe you're a half and half. Some of y'all, some of y'all maybe are dating or married or whatever the case might be. We get it. We get it. But whatever you do, I want you to remember Madame Defarge. I want you to remember Madame Defarge. Asaz, yini nositshela ukuthi okay, I don't know even know how to draw a straight line. But yeah, going back to the South African education system, it has produced very confident, what's the word? Dunderheads. It really has. And I love their confidence though. You must give it their flowers. But some of us who actually come from critical thinking education, we are left profoundly lost. Uguti, what on earth were you saying? What are you saying? Because people are living real lives. People are living real lives. They don't go to restaurants. They don't fly. Not that all of them don't, but you need to count your words. Read the room. That's what an intellectual does. An intellectual walks into the room, and then first question is, what must I do and what must I not do here so that I am comfortable? Look at y'all. You are uncomfortable because people are pushing back. And this diminishes the credibility of intellectuals. So just be careful, guys. That's all I'm saying. Be careful. Offer solutions. Please, that's what we need in this country. Solutions. not somersaults of your brain. Thank you.